And if you're not getting leads out of a current lead source, like the problem probably starts with you.
And this is probably more for companies that are in their way of scaling. They get spread really thin, because something we saw with you and we see with a lot of companies that scale effectively and quickly is they test different channels, but once they find the channel that works, they bleed it dry.
Yeah, I think the easy place to start is, hey, is your GMB good? It affects your LSA, it affects your PPC, it affects your web traffic.
If you got really focused on that channel,
yeah,
that is a massive.
Yeah, you can move it. Today, we're talking about the 3 biggest mistakes that service companies make in their marketing. I'm your host, John Wilson. During the day, I run a $30 million home service company in Ohio. And today, I'm joined on the show by Ethan Wright from Service Scalers. So how do you want to start into this?
It's an interesting perspective, kind of from a marketing company agency side, and then obviously you having on the owner side, operator side, and you have figured out a really good way of working with vendors and whatnot. And so you have a lot of these things really dialed in.
I think you have to.
You have to.
In order to get big. There's only one way. You can buy more leads.
Yes,
successfully.
And, but it's funny when you look, where are the 3 biggest holes for someone that is struggling to scale, struggling to make marketing effective?
At Wilson, we've saved a stupid amount of money by having AI help out with our call center. And the best tool out there that's making that happen is Avoca. So look, you've probably heard the buzz about AI CSRs. They seem to be everywhere, but not all AI CSRs are created equal. And Avoca seems to rise to the top every time. They answer every call on the first ring, they sound just like a real person, and they don't take breaks. But here's what makes Avoca really interesting in the real world. If a caller's getting heated, like they're getting frustrated or annoyed, Avoca knows. It hears the tone, emotion, and hands the call to a real human, so you can still save that call. And this has been huge for us here at Wilson. There's no more churn or people yelling representative into the phone, and the backend is tight. It directly integrates into ServiceTitan at the gold tier level. That means it can handle reschedules, check tech arrival times, and look up customer info. It even helps with capacity planning. It's basically a CSR with perfect memory. On top of all that, it consistently makes our team better. We get post-call analytics, auto tagging, and coaching tools so that no matter who's on shift, we deliver for our customers. If you're curious, go to avoca.ai, AVOCA.ai. Book a demo and tell them Owned and Operated sent you.
I think the number one thing, and one of the things that you're best at, is knowing your numbers, right? I think a lot of times, especially when there are companies that are looking to scale but haven't invest as much in marketing or don't have as much infrastructure on their team where they have more people dedicated to marketing. It's kind of this black box of like, I'm told I need to put money into things and then it's supposed to come out.
Yeah.
But in reality, you have to know your numbers through the whole funnel, and the funnel being from the first time you get someone's attention on the internet or wherever it is, on a billboard, whatever the marketing channel is, to they call in. So how are your CSRs booking and having conversations and whatnot, all the way through sales, right? And so knowing your numbers is huge. I mean, we were in a workshop yesterday and you asked people, how many leads does your business need today? Who knows the exact number? And it was like, someone raised their hand. We need like 10 to 20. He said, well, which one is it?
And
it's
why? Kind of a big difference.
Yeah, exactly. And so what we find is when people don't know those numbers, the answer is just, I need more leads. I need better leads. And they don't know where the issue actually falls in the funnel. And so some things like that are really commonly missed on actually tracking is, essentially upfront lead quality and lead count, right? So one question of how many leads do I need in a day? And again, that follows through your funnel, because you have to know, well, if I get X number of leads, our team books X percentage of those. Our sales team or our techs then close X percentage of the booked leads, and that leads to Y in revenue, right? And so you kind of have to work backwards through that. And so really knowing up front, like, what is my booking rate on the leads that come in, right? Because you could get delivered 10 great leads and 2 companies could do very different things with those. And I think that comes down to like CSR training a lot of the time. What are like big numbers that you guys kind of lock in on?
I mean, those number of leads, when we bring on a new lead source, like what's the booking rate for that lead source? So there's a different booking rate for LSA versus a PPC lead, a PPC lead versus like an Angie's List lead. So they all have different booking rates. So I think my quick tips on how to start getting that data is using tracking numbers. I don't remember what we use, but people were doing a ton, like
CallRail. There's a lot of the field management softwares have tracking numbers.
Yeah, that's how we do ours. It's through our CRM. So yeah, get tracking numbers. So, every time someone calls through our Google My Business, like we know that they called through our Google My Business.
Exactly.
Or if they call through our LSA, we know that they called through our LSA. So that's like number one is just how do you get the data clean enough that you can actually decipher it? So tracking numbers is the big one. You can have CSRs like ask, like, how'd you hear about us? But
doesn't scale.
I don't think it does. Yeah, I don't think it works like meaningfully. I know companies like really push for that, even big. They really push for that. But I think I think you're trying to make something happen that it's kind of irrelevant.
Yeah. And that's by source is really important, like you're saying, because cost per lead is something we can talk about too, but that doesn't live in a vacuum because you could pay twice as much for a lead on, Google versus Angie's, but you can close 70% more leads on Google. So the math works there.
Yeah.
That's something people also get stuck on is just, I need my cost per lead. It's got to be lower.
I showed our chart yesterday and it was like, I think eye-opening for a lot of people because cost per lead is a consideration.
Yes.
But it's only a consideration because it makes ROI harder to achieve. Like that's it. Like that's the only thing that matters. But if you're actually getting ROI, so ROI is return on investment. And if I bought $1,000 of leads, how many sales did I get from those leads? So did I get 5,000 sales? Or I got five times ROI. Did I get 10,000 in sales and I got 10 times ROI? But yeah, like we have lead sources that we pay $400 for a lead, and we have lead sources we pay $30 for a lead, and like ROI could be the same.
And
ROI might be better for the $400.
Yeah, and especially when a lot of people will just say, "I need to get the cheapest cost per lead, no matter what it is." That can be pretty easy to achieve. If I start to opt for leaky faucets versus
worse leads,
water heater installs, or lower Facebook Meta. Fine lead source, but usually lower intent. And so you're usually going to have to work them longer. You're not going to close as many of them. And so again, cost per lead's not in a vacuum. It's something important to track like that booking rate per vendor, cost per lead per vendor. But even within that, what type of lead is coming out of each of those and what is a lead?
I mean, that's like sold rate is how we track that. So we do this for every lead source. So number of leads, cost of the lead, cost of total lead, cost per lead, total sales, book job percentage, canceled job percentage, demo rate or sit rate, which is like how many of them did we actually run? So if we bought 10 leads, but 2 canceled, then we get an 80% demo rate, sit rate. That's really good. That's like a really good sit rate. And I don't know that we're actually achieving that. Like usually it's like 30% is like good. And then what's ROI? But yeah, those are all the numbers, but it starts with like the hygiene of how do we know where that lead came from? So knowing your numbers.
And I think everything you just mentioned is something people should be tracking those numbers because kind of going back to the first point is you can have a leak in your funnel that affects that last number of ROI. But a lot of people just look at what was my cost per lead or one metric. And if my ROI isn't good, it must be that problem. But when you look at it, it could go actually great quality leads at a fine cost that are not getting booked by our CSRs. People don't listen to their calls. And if you don't know who needs to be trained, what objections need to be handled, or it can be good leads, booking well, sat jobs, we're not closing. And so where in that funnel are you actually leaking from? And most people don't know that because if they're not tracking, they just kind of go, well, marketing itself doesn't work. Or someone yesterday we were talking to, he goes, Angie's leads, I've always heard, or any aggregator or lead partner doesn't work. I've always heard that. And then you come in and you say, yeah, we still use like different aggregator partners and different lead partners. And we know the cost for each, the booking rate for each, all that. And that was really eye-opening to him because it's like, we actually might be able to use it if I actually
If
know
you
my
knew
numbers.
the data.
Exactly.
Yeah, if you knew the data. And I think like a more extreme example, and then I'm going to ask about the second, but we had someone in the group and they were paying $150 a month for Yellow Pages.
Yes.
And he was tracking
Yep.
the leads from it. And because he knew that, I think it was like 30 leads a month for $150.
Yeah.
Like, so he's getting leads at all. Cause I would have assumed no leads. Just if I had no data, just the vacuum of we're paying anything for Yellow Pages, first assumption was no leads.
Exactly.
But he's like, no, we have 30 leads a month and it's really great. And I'm like, well, yeah, like at $3 or $5 a lead, almost anything is easy to achieve leads. ROI there. So like, that's a pretty big win.
Yeah. I told him, I was like, if usually if people would come into that business and just do an audit really quick without the numbers.
Oh yeah.
They go, hey,
I would cancel that.
$150 a month, just throw it out. It's Yellow Pages.
Yeah.
But he knows where his leads come from, what they cost. Yeah. So that's the big one. Know your numbers by source.
Yeah.
All the way through the funnel.
Yeah. Fascinating.
Yeah.
What's number 2?
Field Pulse is the all-in-one field management solution for growing home service companies. Field Pulse is designed to simplify your day-to-day operations by combining everything you need into one platform. It also includes integrations to help you save time, like QuickBooks Desktop and online. It has a bunch of advanced tools and features like a CRM, estimates and invoicing, good, better, best options, maintenance plans, a robust price book, and scheduling and dispatching. Field Pulse will transform the way that you manage your field teams. Altogether, it will save you time and find revenue that you didn't even know existed. Whether you're a small company that's looking to grow or a larger company looking to optimize, Field Pulse has the tools that you need to do it. And don't just take our word for it. Field Pulse has earned over 580 glowing reviews with an average rating of 4.8 stars. That's Field, P-U-L-S-E. Head to their website to learn more, fieldpulse.com.
I would say secondly, and this is probably more for companies that are in their way of scaling, but they get spread really thin between marketing sources. They have a allotted amount of budget in a month, and they've heard, well, I've got to be on LSA. Yeah. Obviously, I need to run PPC too. I've got to be doing, Angie's and Thumbtack because I heard great things about them. Modernize, whatever it might be. I've got the Yellow Pages going too, and on top of that, I need to do Facebook ads. And what about my website SEO?
Yeah.
And that's fine if your marketing budget is robust enough that there is enough dollars per channel to make them effective. But I so often see people who are in, a sub, let's say, it's a business doing $1.5 million a year. And their marketing budget is just way more constrained. And so I always sit down with them and we look and we go, so what are you spending on? And it's usually a mix of those things I mentioned. And then even some of these like more branding plays, like, well, and we've also got the billboard outside of town, and we've sponsored the newspaper forever. And we just look together and it's like, do you know your numbers? Usually not. And then my question would be, if you did, what's your highest ROI channel? What channel can actually scale?
Yeah.
Because something we saw with you and we see with a lot of companies that scale effectively and quickly is they test different channels. But once they find the channel that works, they just,
you run it.
They bleed it dry.
Yeah.
In a good way. Yeah. They're going to see, okay, if LSA works in my area, the cost per lead is great. We close a good amount. ROI is great on it. That's the budget I'm upping and focusing on and just getting super dialed in on. Instead of, LSA's got $200 a month to it. Pay-per-click's got 500, all these other aggregators. So it really is, obviously you have to test things. You have to find where the ROI is. You need to track it. But as soon as you find that, I think there's this idea of diversification, which is good at a certain point, but you don't usually have the budget to diversify, and you're often way better served by finding the channel that works, going all in on it, and then using that to then build, hey, we're going to get reviews from the people that we work with, and so that's going to help with our SEO.
Yeah.
That's going to help with word of mouth. That's going to help with these other things. Eventually diversifying out as you need more leads, as you find that you've hit a cap. But just so often people want to spread themselves really thin, and it's kind of short-sighted, or it will just take you a lot longer to achieve what you could if you found kind of the best lead source and ran with it.
Yeah.
Because you guys, for a long time, like you found one.
I mean, LSA, like we just ran LSA till it's dry.
Yeah.
So now it's just like everything, every lead source is a game that you can win.
And if you're not getting leads out of a current lead source, like the problem probably starts with you. Like, what are you doing wrong? So that's where I would start instead of blaming the lead source.
Yeah.
But yeah, like LSA at one point, we were spending $100,000 a month.
Yeah.
And like, that was like 2024. That wasn't even like 2021 when it was crazy.
Yeah.
That was like recent.
Yeah.
Now we have since diversified a little bit, but we still like push that really hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you find something that works, run it dry.
Yep.
And I think that people start, like when I see it happen is they go to some seminar or they like read how they need to do their marketing plan for next year. So, you know, it's August, we're approaching Q4 and people are like, well, I got to start planning for next year. So I think it's coming from a good place.
Yes.
We're like, all right, I'm doing my marketing plan. I'm thinking about growth next year. I'm thinking 8%.
Mm-hmm.
Where do I put it? So they're all just sort of like shuffling around, and I think they just get lost in their own heads a little bit.
Well, and I mean, especially, people who listen to podcasts and go to those seminars, right? They hear you have a guest on, or they hear a guest, and we scaled through Facebook ads. We scaled through pay-per-click. Oh, here's this great hack for XYZ.
Yeah.
And right, it's out of a good place. And like the idea of diversification is a good one.
Yeah.
But it only when you have the budget to actually effectively use each channel.
Yeah.
I so often see like just a specific example of like Facebook ads where people want to run them and they've just got a really limited budget and they're, they're paying someone to run them. So there's a fee involved plus, $1,000 a month in budget.
Yeah.
When you're running these paid ad sources, like there's a lot of testing, there's a lot of variables to find the hook that works, the visual that works, the creative, and it constantly changes. And so people who win at those games have enough budget to actually test those things consistently. But when you have such a limited budget, you can only do so much testing before you're done for the month.
I'll give my quick framework on testing because this might help people. But you can do this in one of two ways. You can do this with number of leads, or you can do this in like time period. So number of leads would be like, I need to buy 100 leads, and that's a big enough data set. Or time period, which is how we do it, 90 days.
Yeah.
So first month, did I get a single lead? If I got a single lead, it's worth continuing into the second month. Second month, did I sell a single lead? So I got the lead and it was quality. If I sold a single lead, I'm good to go into the third month. And the third month is, did we achieve ROI?
Yeah.
So that's how we think about testing.
Smart.
As we're like, we test, I don't even know, 2 to 4 channels a month.
Yeah.
So that's our framework.
Yeah.
Did I get a single lead? Did I sell a single lead? Can I sell this profitably?
That's smart. Yeah. Just giving it actual time to work.
Yeah, it works.
Number
3.
Yeah. Number 3. This one, depending on, what part of the internet you live on, it might sound like beating a dead horse, but people still, we see it all the time, just not investing in or neglecting your Google business profile.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And there's a lot of ways
I don't think
that
people
can happen.
understand how, especially in the past couple of years, SEO, it went from on-page SEO, and on-page SEO is still really important.
And that's like when it's directing traffic
on-page is
to
on
your
the
website.
Yeah. On-page SEO is on the website. So like blogs, search, location pages, on-page SEO. Local SEO is now this new discipline, and it started, I really think, as LSA became a bigger thing and LSA and GMBs became the same thing.
Yeah.
Suddenly, hey, is your GMB good became really important. And now quality GMBs is like, it affects your LSA, it affects your PPC, it affects your web traffic, like it affects everything. It affects ChatGPT and how you show up in those searches.
Yeah, exactly. And even in the past few years, like coinciding with all this, the map pack, like it wasn't always the first organic result.
Yeah.
Right. There used to be a few websites that showed up.
Yeah.
And then the map pack. But now it is, as soon as you're past sponsored, there's your
map.
There's your map. And more and more people, like there are certain companies that track this, but like more and more people who are organic searchers who don't click on sponsored ads, their main source of traffic for a local search to find a business, whether it's a restaurant or a plumber or a dog groomer, is through the Google business profile. And there's a lot of ways that we see it, quote unquote, neglected.
Yeah.
I think it's one that sometimes people pat themselves on the back and say we're doing a pretty good job, but I always challenge, like, how could it be better? Is just the simple practice of like capturing reviews.
Yeah.
And that's another number to track is job completion to review percentage.
Mhm.
And
And
even
how many a week?
exactly.
Yeah.
If I do 50 jobs in a week,
Yeah.
am I getting 5 reviews or am I getting 15?
Yeah.
That's a really big deal for a couple reasons. One, you grow your review count. That's extremely helpful, obviously, for the SEO traffic directly from your GBP, but it's going to help your LSA account be more effective. Like you said, even searchers who come through pay-per-click, if they want to do a quick search on you to find out if they're good, they're going to go to your reviews, right? And if I see someone with, 70 reviews, that's like 4.7 stars, and the guy below him is, 2,500 and 4.9.
Yeah.
It's a big difference. But also this idea of like review velocity, like how often am I collecting reviews? Because Google does care about that.
Yeah.
So you can have less total reviews than your competitor, but they're getting 2 a week. You're getting 10. Google sees that as, okay, these people are doing a good job consistently with the consumers that we're trusting them with.
Yeah.
And, a lot of people, we were talking yesterday and like, yeah, we've got some sort of incentive program. Like I pay my techs $10 for a good review. And I just ask, how does that work? And they say horribly.
Are you looking to grow your home service business with a steady and predictable stream of high intent leads? Well, Modernize helps contractors scale with 4 powerful tools: inbound calls, live transfers, and branded programs, all designed to connect you with homeowners who are ready to start projects right now. They've delivered over 9 million leads, generated $4 billion in revenue, and support more than 25 trades across the country. Whether you've maxed out LSAs or you need leads to fill a revenue gap, Modernize is your growth lever from inquiry to install. Click the link below to start driving consistent growth with Modernize.
And say it was kind of like, okay, raise your hand if you have something similar. Yeah, it's $20, it's $15. Is it working? No. And so figuring out specifically for your team how to unlock it is a big deal. Because incentivizing is great. Some people are incentivized by like the individual, hey, you can, increase your pay per hour by X amount if you got this many reviews. But some companies that we talk to, like it works better when there's like a bigger overall, reward to get. So instead of paying all your techs X number of dollars per review, it's, hey, we just bought a Blackstone and the guy with the most reviews at the end of the month gets the Blackstone or gets the Milwaukee tool set or whatever it might be. But I think, Jack actually mentioned it when we were talking yesterday, but a big point was incentivizing is great, but also it's their job to get them. And so hold them accountable to what you're asking. Yeah. So instead of just, hey, well, we will pay you if you get them, it's go get them and let's track and make sure you're doing it. A few other things on the GBP, and we don't have to get super deep into all of it, but there's a lot of different spots on your GBP that you can be updating and filling out information and using it to get keywords for your services and locations in it. So there's an update page, there's a products page, Q&A page, even in the way you respond to people. Hey, thanks for trusting us with your water heater install job. We're so happy that we were able to help you at your house in Stowe, Ohio yesterday. Like we look forward to serving you again, right? Where can I get all those little mentions in there so that one, it's just indexing. But two, also like when you talk about ChatGPT or any of these AI models, when you ask them like why they recommend certain businesses, so much of it goes back to the Google business profile and it will scrape the actual reviews. And so, I saw that someone mentioned the area you were in, that you were on time, trustworthy, dependable, things like that, left photos. So all those things are super important. And so just neglect of GBP, a lot of people think I'm getting some reviews. We've got a good rating. I always challenge people like, could you be getting more? Could you be doing more just to fill that out? Because it's such a powerful lead driver nowadays. So that's a big one.
Yeah. I think the easy place to start is Google plumber near me, HVAC near me, and whoever the biggest is in your area, like look at what they're doing compared to what you're doing.
Yes.
And what's usually pretty interesting, and I'm curious how like the person that's not thinking much about their Google, like it's hard for me to get in that framework. But like if they're up against someone with like 5,000 reviews, like reviews are clear. Like review is pretty indicative of revenue.
Yes.
So, hey, someone's $100 million or $80 million. Like you're going to see 20,000 reviews.
Yep.
Someone's 30, you're going to see 5,000 reviews. So like it's a really like aligned, which I think is kind of funny. So yeah, I would just try to copy what the big guys are doing. Like if they're giving daily updates, maybe you should figure out how to do daily updates.
Yeah.
If they're like,
how are their services listed?
Right. How are their
what
services
products
listed?
are
they doing coupons? How many photos? Well, how many reviews a day or week? Yeah, all that stuff like matters a lot.
Well,
and they got big because GMB has been such a central focus for the past decade.
Yeah, and we talk with people all the time. It's like if you could, maybe you're getting 15 calls from your GBP a month right now.
Yeah.
If you could do a few things and could double that count in a reasonable amount of time, think about what you would have to pay for 15 calls.
Oh, yeah.
And those organic calls are much higher close rate, much higher intent. They've already researched you. They already looked at your reviews. And so, go look at like even if there's someone in your town, it's like, man, they always get people to leave photos with their reviews. They're leaving long descriptions with people are mentioning keywords. It's like, that's not by accident. There's a way that they've trained their techs or their CSRs that follow up of, hey, your review means the world. If you could leave a picture, if you could mention your area, like people do that. And it's something that can seemingly get lost in, the sauce of just everything you're trying to do.
Yeah.
But if you got really focused on that channel, like that is a massive.
Yeah, you can move it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Heck yeah. This is awesome. So those are the 3 biggest mistakes we're seeing in service businesses. If people want to get a hold of you, where can they find you?
You can find us at servicescalers.com, or you can find us on X at the same @servicescalers.
Awesome. If you like what you heard, make sure you like and sub for more.